Hello friends, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to explain what is an error and how we can handle error in Mule4. So as a working integration architect and developer, I have working on a multiple projects and I have faced many challenges while delivering business requirement to the client. So what kind of challenge? The challenge can be anything. It can be connectivity issue, it can be credential expired issue or credential is not working issue, or it can be data validation issue. So anything which basically stop your happy path or success flow is a error, and we should know that how to handle those error and how to notify user or how to notify the respective team or person to basically solve this error. Error can be temporary or permanent, but based on the error type we are doing error handling. So there are two types of error: system error and messaging error. So what is a system error? System error is the error where the no mule event is involved. This error is come during application start, or this error comes when your application is deploying and then the connectivity is testing and we're not able to connect. So those error are occurred at system level, and those error are not on those error there is no mule event is involved. So those are the systems error. And we have a messaging error where the mule event is involved, where we are sending a request to HTTP requester and we are getting a response or we are getting an error. So those error, there is a mule event is involved. Those error is called mule messaging error, and those error we can handle. System error we cannot handle in mule error handling. If I go to the next slide, in next slide I mentioned that error handler, at what level we can have a error handler. So as of now, based on this image, we have a three label. Like application level, we can have an error handler that is a global error handler or default error handler. If there is no global error handler configuration is defined, there is always be a default error handler provided by MuleSoft Runtime. And the flow error handler, as you know that this is the flow, and we have an error handler. Inside the error handler, we can define on error continue and on error propagate. Apart from that, Mule4, we have a processor label error handler which called try-scope. So as you can see that this is the flow, and under that we have a one database select operation. There we have a try-scope. So it's a processor label error handler. Any error occurred, it will basically handle here. If error matching with any type, then based on the on error propagate or on error continue, it will basically working as expected based on the error handler we have defined. So most of you guys are thinking about why two types of error handler is provided. But basically I can say that on error handler. So there are two types of on error handler. One is on error propagate, on error continue. So there is no much difference. There's only one difference, is that on error continue will not propagate error to the caller. Okay, but on error propagate rethrow the error to the caller. It will basically propagate error to the parent or propagate error to the default error handling. So that's what the difference is there. Let me read. All processes in the error handling scope are executed. So what does it mean? It means that in error handling, suppose there is a on error continue or on error propagate. If how many processor we have written here, all processor must execute and then propagate error to the upper level, or we can say in a default level. But in and the error will not in case of on error continue, the error will not be throw. It will give you success response in case of HTTP listener, but in case of on error propagate, HTTP listener return error response. So error is rethrow up to the next level and handled there, but in case event is propagated to the next level as the flow execution has successfully completed. So this is the basic difference between on error propagate and on error continue. Those will be part of your error handler. As you can see that we have a error handler, under that we have a on error continue, on error propagate. At what one error handler we can have a multiple on error continue and multiple on error propagate. It is working like catch. Like one try we have a multiple catch, so one flow we have a multiple on error continue, on error propagate. So it is a basically theory, most of the theory, but let me show you today what I'm going to show you. So basically I have a 18 not 18, I have basically 19 uh, error cases. I've created a 19 example for error handling, as you can see that. and I have created all error cases here. So I'm going to explain you how exactly I have done error handling in my projects. So this is my first project. In this project, let me give you some prerequisites for HTTP listener and what example I have used. So in every error cases, I have used HTTP requester, and that HTTP requester is giving me HTTP colon connectivity. So let me show you. So what is it is giving? HTTP colon connectivity. Okay, so guys, here's the very important thing is that MuleSoft error handling is working on basically error type. This is the error type. In error type, we have a two things. One is namespace. This is identifier. So we can say that our MuleSoft Mule4 error handling is purely working on error namespace and identifier. Okay, and in my all error case is based on this error type and identifier. This is a namespace and this is an identifier. So I have used a listener and I have used one requester. My requester always send HTTP connectivity error, and my listener always respond uh, payload as an error response. Let me show you. So I'm going to show you payload as a error response. So let me open responses. So as you can see that my error response is always the payload. So at any point of time, if any error is occurred, so my listener is return error response is a payload. What is the value of a payload? It will return the simple value. And my all HTTP requester return or basically throw a connectivity error because I have configured a wrong HTTP path in Mule requester. It will basically give you HTTP colon connectivity error. So this is what the some prerequisites I want to explain that. So as we have a flow is normal cases, as you can see that error case one. In error case one, we don't have any error handling. As you can see that the flow level, there is no error handling. So let me deploy this application in debug mode. As you can see that my application is deployed in basically this first XML. We have a basically four flow. So there are four use cases I'm going to explain first and run. So first use cases, there is no error handling we have done. It's a normal cases. It's only one flow which we receiving a request. We are starting the payload before HTTP request, and after HTTP request we are setting a payload end. Okay, and there is no error handler. If there is no error handler, then default error handler come into the picture. Let me show you. So default, what is a default error handler? So default error handler, when the flow is processing and mule message raised an error, the normal execution flow stop. What does it mean? It means that when error is raised, normal execution of this flow is stopped. It is happened for every cases when error is raised. Okay, after that, what happened with default error handling? If there is no error handling defined here, then our transfer will go to default error handler, and default error handler by default is propagate error. It will basically propagate the error. Okay, so our default error handler is always propagate error and and log the exception. So this is what default error handler. So let me click on one error case one, and as you can see that we have error occurred. And if I click on next processor, then our default error handler is called. Yes, it's called, and the response is returned. So in listener, what is the value of payload that is returned? So as of now, before error is occurred, the value is start, and when error is occurred, the payload value is still start. So but let me show you. So there is, as you can see that it is a on error propagate error handler. There is no error handler, means the default error handler is handle your error. And what is the response? The response, as you can see, that start, and the status code is 500. So basically, on error propagate and on error continue, you will get difference via payload and status code. So let me run use case second. In use case second, it's the same use case as first one, but instead of we don't have a error handling here in previous flow, but now we have a error handler, but it is nothing but it is a propagate. But in use case first, as you can see that the value is start is returned, but use case second, what is the value is returned and what is the status is written, we will see that. So let me hit use case second request. So as you can see that it has failed, and let me go here. Yes, it is catch error because we have defined one error propagate. And one more thing I want to let you know here. So basically in error handling we can have multiple on error continue and multiple on error propagate. So if we have a multiple on error continue and multiple on error propagate, so it will basically check type. So we can define type and when condition. So based on the type and when condition, it will execute first, and it is working like catch. If you are familiar with Java, so first catch execute if the condition or exception type match, it is the same as type here, and when condition we can also define. But as we have only one error propagate and we have not defined any type, so it's if we not define any type, it means it accept or it catch all errors here. So as you can see that in second error cases, we have honor propagate and we are setting payload as error. And let me go to next processor. As you can see that we have got error here and 500. Why 500? Because this is honor propagate, it propagate error to the basically parent or to the caller. So it propagate error. That's why we are getting a 500, and the payload is error. But error case 1, we are getting a start and 500 because there is a default error handler, and default error handler we have don't any error handler. So the what is the current value of the payload, it returned from error case 1, but in case of error 2, it returned error. So let me focus on error case 3. So here we have defined on error continue. Let's see that what is the difference it will create. 3. Okay, 3. So next processor, it will catch error and set error. So let me show you this. As you can see that it is 200 and the payload is error because we have set error payload here. Okay, yeah, and let me show you the fourth error cases. So what happened, as I explained already, this is a catcher. On error continue or on error propagate, we define in error handling, it is a catcher. And once we don't define any type, then it is a any, it will catch any error. Once we define a type, then if error throw, if namespace and identifier match, if namespace and identifier match, then it will catch the error, otherwise it will not catch error. If this error handler is not catch error, then who will catch error? Default error handler will catch error. If there is no error handler, then by default error handler will come into the picture. So let me throw 4. Yeah, so error throw, as you can see that error type is HTTP connectivity, but we are catching HTTP bad request. Yes, so our error handling not catch any error because the type is not match. So let me show you. So if there is no match defined, then who is basically handling our error? Default error handler. Default error handler is by default on error propagate. So as you can see that we have it will basically throw error. And what is the status? What is the payload value is written? Payload value is written is start, and the status code written 500. Start and status code 500. That's how. Sorry, I have 4 here, so that's why it's 4. So let me change it to 3. This is a 4. Let me execute again, so there should not be any confusion. Yeah, so 4 is returned. Yeah, so we're getting start and 500 error. So error case 5. So error case 5, let me so in error case 5, we have a basically parent child flow. So let me explain first what is a parent and what is a child. So here, as you can see that we have a one parent flow. So parent flow calling a child flow. Okay, so this is a child flow. In child flow, we are getting a HTTP connectivity error. So in child flow, as you can see that we have applied on a propagate. So basically and we have applied type is any. So it throw error catch by this propagate, and this propagate again propagate error to the caller. Okay, or default error handling. But as you can see that it is a caller of this child flow is this flow reference. So it will propagate error to the parent. So who's the parent? Parent is this. If there is no parent, then default error handler is coming to the picture. Okay, so as you can see that this error is through from here and it will go here, and this error, this is not continue on error continue, it is on error propagate. Then the parent flow is also again throw the error, it will be catch by this on error propagate, and we will get response as main flow error with 500. So let me show you, this is a fifth example. Yeah, yes, error is occurred, then it catch by on error propagate, it propagate error. Yes, as you can see that it propagate error, then prop error is again propagated from parent to it is error handler, as we have defined one error handler on error propagate, and it propagate the error. Okay, it basically handle and propagate the error. So as you can see that we have got main flow error and status is 500. Okay, so let me show you uh, error handling 6 example. In error handling 6 example, as you can see that we have a same case here. We have a parent flow calling child flow, but in child flow HTTP requester throwing error, it will catch by on error continue, and on error continue will not propagate the error to the parent. So let me show you, this is example 6. So as you can see that error is occurred. Yes, error is catch by on error continue, it will not propagate the error. So the parent flow, as you can see that it is a success path, it is a happy path, means the parent flow don't know that the child flow having an error. So that's why it does not propagate the error to the it is error handler. It will go forward, and we are getting a parent flow end with 200 status code. Parent flow end with 200 status code. Yeah, so in use case basically in use case here, so we can change XML. So for example, as you can see that we have a, and use case 5, we have parent and child both have on their propagate and on their propagate at parent level. Let me change this one. I'm going to change the parent flow on error propagate to on error continue. Continue. CON continue. It is very easy to change here like XML because I know the syntax, that's why. So, yeah, so I have changed this as instead of on error propagate, I have changed to on error continue. So let's check what is the error case 5 will return. Let me check whether my application is deployed or not. Once it is deployed, I will take it. So error case 5 we have a main flow error with 500 status code. Now we have replaced with parent flow as on error continue. Previously it was on error propagate. So let me send a request 5. Yes, error is occurred, then it will go to error handling, it is a propagate, then it propagate the error. Yes, it is propagate error, then catch by parent flow error handler. As you can see, it is continue, so it will set main flow error with 200 status code. 200 status code, main flow error. The status is changed, it was 500 previously. And let me change here. Suppose we have here is on error continue, on error propagate here, and below we have, so here I'm going to change it to propagate. Propagate, PROPAGATE, propagate. Copy, propagate, and this is a propagate. Yes, so I have changed error case 6. So as you can see that child flow we have a continue, but the parent flow we have propagate. So when error is through here, it will catch here, and child flow not rethrow error to the parent. Then what will happen? What is the status is change? Yes. So let me check whether my application deployed. Yes, deployed. Let me, as you can see that we are getting a 200 and parent flow end. Let's check what is the status is returned this time. So we have continue will not throw error. So our this is not executing. Why this is not executing? Because child flow will not throw any error. Child flow has not throw any error. That's why this is not executing. So we have parent flow end. Yes, parent flow end with 200 status code. Okay, so that's what is a combination of basically on error propagate and on error continue in the parent flow. So that's what. Let me go to our error handling XML error case 7. Let me explain what is that. So error case 7 is something where I have defined a multiple on error continue and propagate, and as you can see that I have defined type as HTTP connectivity, which is on error propagate, and below I have defined on error continue as any. So it will only accept HTTP connectivity and it will accept any. There is one catch here, I will show you later, but let me send request number 7. Okay, once I send request number 7, error is basically through here. So as you can see that it will not go to this particular type HTTP connectivity, because I know that error is through as a HTTP colon connectivity, but it is not catching here. It is basically catching in any. Why? Because connectors support error mapping. Let me show you. So I have defined a mapping here. This for this example, purpose of this example is to show you how exactly error mapping is worked. So I have defined when our connector throw HTTP colon connectivity error, then I am going to map this error as is meetup page not found. Okay, so that's why this particular type is not match condition. That's why our error is not catch there. It will catch here. So we can, if we define a type, then based on the type matching, it will catch here. But as of now, we have defined type connectivity. That's why it is not catching here, because we have done error mapping from connectivity to meetup page not found. Yes. So this is, let me, it is on a continue. Let me check you what error response on a continue and 200. So that's what is error mapping work. If we done error mapping, then it will basically convert your original error to the whatever mapping you have defined. Okay, one more thing is that when you define an error mapping, so you have to create your own uh, namespace and identifier. Okay, it is, you cannot use existing namespace and existing identifier. You have to create new namespace and identifier. This is a basically namespace before colon, after that it is an identifier. And mule 4 error handling is purely working on error type combination of namespace and identifier. So this is about basically first project. Let me deploy another project. So let me close all XML. And let me deploy this project. As you can see that my second project is deployed. Let me explain what is the error case 8 is saying. Error case 8 is saying that we have one HTTP requester which throw error as HTTP connectivity, and we have a two basically catcher. The first catcher catch HTTP bad request, another catcher catch HTTP not found, and we have not done any mapping. It's basically through HTTP connectivity error, but HTTP connectivity will not match here. As you can see that it is not match here. If you have defined error handling and due to some certain condition, certain types and when condition, if it is not matching with the catcher, then who's coming into the picture? Default error handler is coming into the picture. But in this basically I'm going to explain now how we can replace default error handler with our own error handler. We can do that. But what is the concept saying that if there is no error handler, then default error handler come to the picture. If you define a global error handler and you have replaced with the global error handler with the default error handler with global, then our global error handler take a place of default error handler. But let me show you what error use case 8 saying. I have sent request here, and as you can see that request is captured request and it is HTTP connectivity error. And yes, my error handler is not executed because it is not matched with any type condition. And when who come into the picture, our on error propagate default error handler is coming to the picture. So this is a error use case 8. So we have another use case where we have a default error handler. In default error handler, as you can see that, yeah, as you can see that we have basically one flow which calling below flow, and below flow, as you can see that we receive an error and then this any will execute. Okay, so after this any will execute, let's see what will happen. So error case 9. I'm going to send request error case 9. Yes. So request receive, then it will basically, it is HTTP connectivity. As you can see that error type, that's why it is not go here. Then what will happen? It will basically go with uh, means it is an error propagate, then it propagate error to the parent, as parent know that it is error is coming from child, and then let's check what will happen. So as you can see that error goes to the global error handler, as we have defined a global error handler. This particular global error handling is executed and it will return error as global error handling and with 200 status code, because global error handling I have defined on error continue. Okay, and we have one reference error handling also. So how we can reference error handling? If we want to do our reference error handling should work, then we can do like this way. So I have saved my code. Let me wait for deployment. So if there is no error handler, then default error handler will execute. As of now, I have defined error handling, which is my reference error handling. And let me show you what is the reference error handling. Reference error handling is this. How to make your error handler as default. So there is a one configuration we need to do. So you have to basically create a configuration, like click on create configuration, go to global configuration and just click on create. Once you do that, this particular pop-up will come and you have to choose which error handler you want to make it default. So as you can see that I have a two error handler, one is global, another one is refresh. I have made global error handler as a default error handler. Okay, so I just want to repeat one more time. If you have defined error handling and if your type is not matching, then default or global error handler not come into the picture. Okay, because your type is not matching. If you define any, then it propagate the error. Then if something is propagate the error, then your default or your global error handling to come to the picture. If you have not defined global, then default error handling will take care of your error. If you define global, then global error handler take care of your error. So what happened when we have defined a reference error handling here? So let me show you this case number 8. We have an error and it will go to propagate. It propagate the error. Then as you can see that who's taking this error? Reference error handling. That's why our reference error handling is called, because we have defined this particular error here like this. So let me go to next. And what message is returned? Message returned custom error handling and with 200 status code. Yeah, so let me open, as we have run use case 9, let me open use case 10. So in use case 10, we have basically two part, use case 10-1, use case 10-2. So here what I'm going to explain, I'm going to explain a processor label error handling and how it is possible. It is possible because of try. We have try scope. So as you can see that we have a set payload. After we are calling HTTP requester, it is throwing error HTTP connectivity. Once it is throw, it will go to here and it will throw error again, will catch by this one, and it will throw error again to the parent, and this is the parent, and parent the finally parent have on error continued. So we are going to receive 200 status code with print flow error. So let me send request to 10-1 and I'm going to show you what will happen. Yes, as you can see that error is here. It will throw error, catch by on error, propagate again, throw error, will catch by error handler. Yes, and this error handler also throw error, will catch by parent error handler. So parent error handler is on error continue, which set payload as a parent flow error and 200 status code. Parent flow error and 200 status code. So we have error case number second, 10 ka second. In 10 second we have a try again. but instead of we have on error continue, we have instead of we have on error propagate here, we have on error continue. So in use case number 10-2, we have on error continue inside try. What will happen? Let me show you. Okay, so error is through by HTTP connectivity. Yes, it will catch by on error continue. And let me guys just check here what will happen. Yes, our next subsequent processor will execute. So when you have a requirement is that when your component sending or when a component is giving error, but you want to execute your subsequent next processor, if you want to execute your next processor, then you can use a try with on error continue. So it will continue. It will not basically propagate the error. It will basically continue the same message to the subsequent processor. Your processor will execute as it is. So you will get child flow and with 200 status. So when we want to execute subsequent processor, then we are going with the processor level error handling, which is nothing but try catch. Error handling 5. So yes. So how we can throw error from our side due to data validation error. So we are using a raise error. Let me show you from core component error handling. We have these many component. As you can see that we have an error handler. Inside that we can put multiple on error continue, multiple on error propagate, combination of continue and propagate, and we can define certain types condition. Okay, some of the error types are highly critical, then we can put on error propagate, which propagate error to the default error handling or parent. Okay. And as you can see that which if any point of time we need to throw error, so we can use this raise error. So raise error type, just focus here. So raise error type is either any or your custom namespace and identifier. It will not be existing namespace and identifier. What is the existing namespace and identifier? Like HTTP connectivity, HTTP is existing namespace, connectivity is existing identifier. So it should not be existing namespace and identifier. You can choose any, you can define your own, those types you can throw here. So it is error case number 11. So yes, so let me show you. There is a error hierarchy. Yeah, so Mule4 having an error hierarchy. So as you can see that it is any and critical. So any, if I focus on any, so it is a parent of all errors. Any is a parent of all error. If we define types as any, then any error is thrown by our processor will be catched by any, because we have defined type as any. It is a parent of all errors. After any, we have a certain identifier. As you can see, that security, expression, connectivity, routing. Under connectivity, we have a retry exhausted. So as you can see that retry exhausted is a child error, and the parent error of retry exhausted is a connectivity. So there is an error hierarchy, parent-child relationship. And under security, as you can see that client security and server security, those are the child of security identifier. So this is a error hierarchy. And we cannot raise any existing error types. We have to create our own error types. Either you can define any here or you define your own. So let me hit 11 here use case. So as you can see that I'm hitting send. I'm not sending any body here. So by default my body payload is null. Okay, then it will basically throw error, will catch by this type. So basically I have defined a error type as same as here, same as in raise error, same as in here type. That's why it is go here, and it is by default on error propagate. Then you are getting a error description in the payload. I am setting error description in the payload with 500 status code. Yeah, so this is the error description and this is the 500 status code. And as you can see that whatever you define here, it will be part of your description. That's why you are getting a same thing. Payload should not be null under error description. So this is custom error, how to throw error is work. Let me show you how exactly until successful work. So what is until successful? It will basically try multiple attempts. Okay, as you can see that we have a 2 max try, and we have a in between, what is a time gap between multiple tries, we have a 1 second time gap, and we know that this HTTP requester is throwing HTTP connectivity error. Then first time we're getting error, then it will try for 2 times, first time, second time, so total 3 times. One is default, two we have defined, multiple retries we have defined. And if all retries are unsuccessful, then we are getting a retry exhausted error. So the root error, we are getting a retry exhausted. In the retry exhausted, there will be any error, any root cause. For example, connectivity. so so how to get that particular error? So we are getting that particular error by a error dot error type dot parent error. So that's how we are getting a parent error from until successful. So let me use 12 and send request. First time it will fail, yes, so we will try for 2 times. This is first time, fail. This is second time, and this is again fail. And then our until successful throw retry exhausted. As you can see that it will go to retry exhausted, it is going retry exhausted, and we are basically printing logger and returning error. So error type where returns, let me show you what is printing in the logger. So mule colon connectivity is printing. So this is how until successful error handling is worked. Yes. So this is a kind of slightly different, but let me explain. So you are basically aware of our data view language. Data view is a basically script language, and we are using for mapping, input to output conversion. For many purpose, we are using a data view. So in Mule 4, data view 2, we can also throw error from data view. So as you can see that there's one function fail coming from runtime module. So I have imported runtime module, and this is a function fail. And if certain condition is not match, then I'm calling a function fail, and I'm sending a message कि I am throwing exception from data view, which basically root causes this my data should not be empty or null. Yeah, so let me execute error case number 13. Yeah, so as my payload is no, I'm not checking payload, I'm checking my data value is null, that's why it's throwing error. And I want to show you what response you're getting, what basically error description saying, error dot description. So error dot description saying like this one. Okay, so this is a fail function. We have another function from runtime module. This function is a fail if. So basically it is as you can see that it is if, it is checking condition. Okay, it is checking condition. If this condition is true, then we are throwing error. Okay, so let me execute use case number 14. It is fail. Yes. What is the difference between fail and fail if? In fail, we can send our own user defined message, but in case of fail if, we are not able to send user defined message. So, and what is the description? It's showing a default thing. It is basically failed at, yeah, this point of time. Let me show you try. We have a try also inside data view. So let me show you first. Let me show you first a condition which fail inside my data view. So what happened? Many times it happened that we are doing some date migration, date conversion, like from YYMMDD to YYMMDD. But what happened? At any point of time, we are getting error in data view. Okay, due to this date, we are basically converting from date to string. This payload date is null. So this is null. That's why it is basically throwing error. Okay. So as you can see that I am using one fail here. If my date star is empty, then input date should not be empty. I'm using this one fail. Okay. So it will basically throw exception, and this particular program is throwing exception. So let me show you as error case number 15. Okay, so once it is throw exception, then what error description we are getting? So error description, we're getting this, like this. Okay, so here I'm explaining those error dot description. So let me basically explain what are those. So error is component. Error, basically error is object. This error is basically talking about error is object, and that object having a multiple component like error dot description. We have error dot description, then we have error dot error type, error dot cause, error dot message, error dot child error. So error is an object which have multiple component. One of the component I'm using description, but you can use other component to get more information about error. Okay, so actually it was missed from my side. So error is an object. When any exception throw, then error object is creating, and that error object is having multiple components. One of the component is description. So we have a other component also. You can check those error type, cause, error message, child errors. Okay, so what happened when we wrap this particular function which is failing inside try? Okay, so before uh, when it is calling directly, so as you can see that we are getting 500 error, and this is a kind of description is coming. But in case of it is wrapped with try, what will happen? So let me show you. Let me make a debug point here. So it is, my application is deployed. I'm going to hit again. So let me show you whether error is true or not. Error is not true. There is no error, but we are getting success response. But there's a basically certain structure we are getting. So we are getting basically two field successful true, successful false or true with the error key. So basically this try, if we're using a try inside data view, so try give you some certain structure for failure and success. For failure, it is give you successful false and the key name is error. But in case of success, it is give you successful success true. Instead of error, it will give you result. So let me show you successful. So in this successful now, we have provided data, but in case of failure one, we have not provided any data. As you can see that body is giving null, that's why it is failing. But in case of success one, we are providing a data. Yes. Yeah. So as you can see that success is true. Instead of error, we're getting result, and this is the result value. So this is a basically difference between a try block inside data view from runtime module, giving a structure, output structure for success and failures. So this is my example 2 is completed. Let me open example 3. Yeah, so I'm going to close all files, console close, open third example, basically third project in a debug mode. Yes, as you can see that my application is deployed. Yeah, so let me explain what use case error use case number 16 and 17 says that. So basically we have here I'm going to show you how transaction error handling is work. When we have a database connector which support a transaction, then how error handling we are going to do in a transaction. So that's how I'm going to show you. So basically I have used one try, and my try transaction action is always begin. So it will basically begin the transaction from try itself. My two database connector first insert basically joining the transaction, always join, and second database connector insert is also a joining a transaction. Here also it is the same condition. My try is always begin a transaction. My two database insert database connector operation will join a transaction which basically generate by this try. So basically there's one transaction, and those two database support a transaction, basically joining a transaction. So error case number 16, I have used on error propagate, and error case number 17, I have used on error continue. So I'm going to explain first on error continue one, how exactly the transaction commit and rollbacks worked. So this is how the transaction error handling, rollback and commit, how exactly it is work. So on error continues commit the transaction, on error propagate roll back the transaction. So in on error continue, if you can see that I have, so basically here as you can see that I have used on error continue which commit the transaction. My always second DB is failed. Because why it is failed? Because I am sending a three parameters from here. As you can see that I'm going to explain error case number 617. So let me change to 2. So my this ID is a primary key in a database table, and I'm going to insert the same data into both the same table using a both insert operation. The first operation is successful, and if we are going to insert the same data into this second database operation, then it failed because I am going to insert the same ID which I have provided from input payload. So it is always be fail. Once it is fail, it throw the error and will basically catch by this on error continue. As it is on error continue, then it will not propagate to error to the try, basically outside. Then this try consume that there is no error come, so the first DB is commit the transaction. So the overall operation is kind of partially updated. The first DB insert successfully the data, the second DB will not insert the data successfully. But at the same time, my try scope on the propagate the error, then this try basically roll back the transaction. So whatever inserted by a first DB, it will also roll back. So let me show you example 2. So I want to show you what kind of data I have saved in the database table initially. So you can correlate that key what data is already inserted and what data I'm going to insert. So as you can see that there is no data inserted into the table. So let me send request, error case number 17. Yeah. So error case 17, as I've sent request, what is the payload value? Payload is coming, ID is second, shake and 33. So let me go ahead. So my first DB insert execute successfully, and second DB throw error, and it will go to on error continue. Then on error continue will not throw any error because it is on error continue. Then my this database is JSON is worked. Okay, and so let me show you what data I have inserted successfully. So as you can see that second, this is successfully inserted. So let me show you the same use case for on error propagate. Okay, so I'm going to hit request number 16. Okay, so I have sent request and it is coming. My first DB successfully executed. Yes, below operation is not throwing any error. That's why this try basically commit the transaction. My first DB is inserted successfully, second DB is not inserted successfully. But as you can see that it is propagate. As of now, at this current point of time, my first DB successfully executed. Okay, and it throw error because duplicate 3 key is a primary key because we already inserted second key. Okay, and it propagate the error to the try, and try will basically roll back the transaction. So inside the database you're not able to see 3 entry, you're only able to see second entry which is inserted by this partially updated transaction, or we can say commit transaction. So on error continue help for commit transaction, on error propagate help for propagate basically roll back the transaction. So there is no data is fully inserted, it's basically either 0 or full success in case of on error propagate, but it is here partially updated. So let me open my last use case, or we can say second last. So it is a basically error handling in batch. So many guys having a question that how we can do error handling in batch. So in error handling in batch, how we can do that? So there are certain functions available. Based on those functions we are able to get error. So let me show you first what is the input I'm providing to my batch. So I am providing array of number from 1 to 3. So there are three numbers I am providing. Okay, and at number second, if the payload value is second, then it basically I'm converting this particular string into a number. It will basically throw exception. So my payload, or basically my second record, is failed at step 1. Okay, when my step 2 is executing, in the step 2 I'm also basically at record number second, I'm also converting a kind of string into a number. So the record number second also throw exception in step number 2. So we have a same record, record number second failed at step 1, and the record number second again failed at step 2. So same record failed in step 2. And let me show you step. So as you can see that except policy is no failures, and here's accept policies all. What does it mean? It will accept failures record as well as success record in step number 2, but in step number 1 it will only accept no failures. We have a step number 3 which only accept only failures. So as you can see that here the record number second will only insert, record number first and record number third not having any error, so those record will not process by step 3. The record number second which failed at step number 1 and step number 2 is going to insert. So basically there are two error for one record. Record number is second, so there is a two error for record number second. One error is at step number 1, another error at step number 2. Yes, so let me show you what is that. This will help you to get all errors for your records. There is a basically boolean, it will return whether is successful, this particular record number second is successful or is false. Is failed record yes or no, it's successful yes or no. We want to check whether this record failed at step 1. If it is failed at step 1, why it is failed. If this record failed at step number 2, so you can get a kind of error detail from here. This record failed at how many steps, 1 or 2 or 2 or 1, so it will give you all step exception. This record failed at first time, what is the error? This record failed at last time, what is the error? So our record number second failed at step number 1 and step number 2. So it for first exception we're getting error root cause for step number 1. The last exception we're getting a record number 2 failed at step number 2. And if we have a more steps for particular record failed at multiple steps, so we can get that if this record is failed in step number 1, then why, or if this record failed at step number 2, then why. So this is worked for one record. Why? Because this thing we have written inside the steps, and a step is executing our records, and steps except policy we mentioned only failures. So here only failure record come into the picture, and those functions only work on record. It will retrieve information based on the record. Okay, so let me send error case number 18. Yes, it has come. So first record number first is executing, record number second executing, and it is failed because we failed record number second. Then record number third is properly executing. Okay, after that the except policy for step number 2 is all, means all record will enter here, means it will means first record, second record, third record, all record will enter here. It will execute 3 times. First time record number 1, second time record number second failed again, because we have written if the record, if it is record number second, then fail as number, so it is failing. And third record will not fail. This is third record, it is not fail. Okay, and as you can see that here only one record going to insert, which is record number third. So it will execute only first time, only not first time, only one time. Yes, as you can see that, and on complete phase, finally on complete phase is executing. So let me show you what message we have print. Okay, it is a kind of long, many information we have print. So let me show you. So this record is successful, false. Is failed, yes, it is true. What is the exception? Failure is exception is step number one. So when this records fail at step number one, what is the error? This is the error root cause. If this record fail at step number two, what is the error? This is the error. If this record failed at many steps, so give me the list of steps which this record is failed. Current record. Current record is number second record. So second record failed at step number second, and the second record also failed at step number one. So it will give you all steps exception for one particular records. At the end, this record first time, when this record failed first time, what is why it is failed for first time? When this record failed as last time, what is the error last time? So last time it is failed for step number second, first time it is failed for step number first. And after that, yes, this is all information we are printing in the error handling batch number 3. So batch number 3 is purely for error handling we have made. So this is about my example third. In example 4, let me show you. So example 4 is nothing but basically we are calling a flow 2 here, flow 2 calling flow 3, flow 3 calling flow 4, and flow 4 basically we have a error as number. This is throw error. When I throw error, it will go to propagate and propagate error to a parent. Here it will again propagate error to the parent. It will again propagate error to the parent, and finally this will propagate error to the. If there is no error handling is defined, then default error handler is come into the picture. If you have a global error handler, then global error handler is defined. If you have defined error handling here, then any type is not matching. Any type, once you define a type and type is not matching, then default error handler will not call. So you have to always use any, or you should make sure that whatever error is coming, that particular should match, then propagate error to a default error handler or global error handler. So if you want to see here how it is work, let me show you. One of the main purpose of this example is that in Mule 4 there are certain depth. Mule 4 certain depth. I think two times Mule 3, basically Mule 3 is propagate the exception to the parent, but in Mule 4 there is no number of depth. It will basically it will throw a error from multiple depth, for example 5th to 4th, 4th to 3rd, 3rd to 2nd, and 2nd to 1st. But in case of Mule 3, I think it will only throw error to 2nd depth. So that's how exactly I want to show this example at this here, how many depth our error handling is thrown. So basically it's from flow 4, it will throw error to 3, 3 to 2, and 2 to 1. So this is all about from my side. Let me show you how it is work. Yes, so this is deployed and error case 19. So it will propagate error to how many label. That's what actually I want to show, but there is a limit in Mule 3, but there is no limit in Mule 4. Yes, so propagate to the 4, then propagate to the 3, then propagate to the 2nd. And if 2nd we have a, yes, we have a default error handler. The default error handler is executed. Yeah. So this is all about from my side. Just let me know if you have any question. Just comment here, and please support me. Please share this video and subscribe the channel. Bye.